Welcome back, guys, to Nuke. That's going to be our location for the second map in this quarterfinals of the ESL One New York EU Qualifiers. Myself and Dust going to be taking you through this. Map 2, after EnVyUs took 16-12 on Cash, which is HellRaisers' choice of map. It was a bit of a rough performance by HellRaisers. A couple players didn't really show what they're capable of doing, and I can't help but feel that this map could be going very much the same way with a 2-0. Very, very reminiscent of how G2 basically destroyed Pride earlier today.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what to expect from HellRaisers given all the changes that have been made with Sticko leaving and Bondik, I guess, being dropped and bringing in 2 new players and Watsik and Issa who don't really have that much experience playing against top lineups. And then, you know, how motivated is Angel really when he was almost on a way better team and what he must be feeling. With that whole process not going the way that it was planned. You got to think that they're in a little bit of rough shape. And even if they did decide to commit to this 5 and let's make the best of it, you know, they haven't really had that much time together. So it was always going to be expected that they might have a rougher time, but at least they wound up kind of challenging a bit there towards the end and making Cash a little bit more interesting, I guess you could say. But now we're on to EnVyUs' home turf. And we'll see what HellRaisers is made of, I suppose.
I think it was 11-4 at half-time, right? Yep. And then they brought it back to 11 each. So at that point, you're thinking, okay, well, HellRaisers have the momentum. Their CT sides look really strong. And then EnVyUs just got a second gust of wind and basically swept them off. So it could have easily actually been HellRaisers taking that first map. But either way, we are now on the CT side for HellRaisers on Nuke. And I'm already seeing a whole bunch of players come outside. But it could be Angel who's able to hold down for 1 before being traded out by Scream. Issa has a perfect angle to dispatch. Scream needs to go down. He's only got 6 health left, but Issa is going to capitalize onto Happy, who flies out of the air, leaving Sixer in a 1-on-4. Has Dink 0, and will finish off what he started, but he doesn't have control of the bomb.
Just pick up a USP. He's also unarmored, is the other big thing. He has a flash instead, so it's going to be very difficult for him to do a whole hell of a lot with no armor and up against 3 players. Unless he can slide his way into some 1v1 somehow, as he's trying to flank through Secret, but I believe someone's kind of onto it right now.
Six are going to be coming up through Secret. Surprised that none of HellRaisers are actually watching this for the time being. There we go, Issa has changed his angle. Will land the 1-tap. Nice confident start. He'd struggle a little bit on Cash, pardon me, not Train. We did actually cast Train earlier on, but that's between Pride and G2. Interesting purchase as well, going in for a Scout and an M4 instantly. Kind of curious to see where Watsik is going to use the Scout. I mean, typically you're going to see it used in either ramp or outside. But he doesn't care about that. He's going to heaven with it. He's going to be watching outside instead.
Oh, Angel's taking some damage here, hasn't he? And now the Deagle will line him up on Scream, and they also got a player down Vince. I'm not sure if HellRaisers are even aware that someone made it down there. Scream continues to go to work with this Deagle. Happy does get the jump on 0. And wow, this round really quickly turned on its head in favor of Envy.
And it's going to go from bad to worse unless Watsik can pull off some crazy kind of heroic to this Scout. He has full nades behind it as well. But he's been spotted. Oh, the shot onto Scream. It surprises me that he survived that, but he only has 12 health left, and so 1 stray bullet will end his life. Sixer doesn't have careful art, but Happy does. And Watsik doesn't know where these last 2 players are, and Happy, close range, will put him out of his misery. EnVyUs have done it. They've broken HellRaisers, who likely will be into a bye. It's typically the way the economy battles will go early doors. But this puts EnVyUs in great shape to start off Nuke.
That is definitely a harsh way to kick things off for your HellRaisers, to win Pistol after being a map down and, you know, starting off on Nuke, which is a map that you don't have as much experience on as your opponent, and then having that happen. They will force right back up themselves, and so we'll keep kind of this economic game of chicken going until someone can fit through 2 in a row. EnVyUs will be looking to do that as quickly as possible as they put that smoke wall down and get that bomb into Secret. Angel will try to meet them head on here at the corner. He's going to be able to find 1, but Sixer will trade. That'll help open things up a bit here in the back halls.
Hella gunfire being traded between both teams. EnVyUs going to have RPK charging straight through Decon. He spots Watzik, knocks him down, and will finish him off. This is forcing out a heavy rotation, and Dead Fox and Isu both came through the vents, both able to capitalize with a kill of their own. Sure, it wasn't at the cleanest of cost. They've both gone down pretty low, but surprisingly, they both got kills for themselves. Happy's just holding the close angle. Crosshair in perfect position for the headshot, but Zero follows up where Easter went through. They're really about to do this. They're about to break back EnVyUs after they've done it to them. Scream. Hiding in main. They're going to line up from the back 10, but he's not able to get the double frag. And HellRaisers will take the rounds. They bounce right back.
Unreal, isn't it? You gotta love that when you see games go like this, just back and forth affair to kick off a half, no one really being able to get control of things. Kind of wonder if Happy overextended after that first kill to go for the second with the push like that. So just getting back up into upper with his teammate or something and playing out the 2v2, but other than that, it was just kind of a mixed bag. Good pistol work there. A lot of chaos in those back halls that kind of allowed HellRaisers to climb back into it. Of course, EnVyUs with the bomb plant, and given the situation, we'll buy up again. AKs across the board. They'll nade down Squeaky, get that smoke into Mini. It actually doesn't make it all the way to Mini because the fire was down, so it gets extinguished.
EnVyUs congregating towards the ramp, able to get the kill to Woxic, who tried to come through around the bend, but it's going to cost him his life. It's a poor smoke by XMS.
Not what he was looking for at all.
He was trying to throw that into the control room. Angel, in the meanwhile, trades out to the M4. Looked a bit precarious for him for a second as RPK was in his eyes. Only had a USP to his name. Now Dead Fox and Angel, well, the last two remaining CTs are both going to be coming from very separate angles. Ramp now. This is where Angel resides. He's been spotted. They know where he is. Bombs planted, everything stacked against Angel, and he wants no further part of this round. He realizes it's done, so they're just trading rounds back and forth, back and forth. This typically will favor the terrorists, though, because the economy will catch up with the CTs a lot quicker than it will the Ts. And now this bomb's been planted, they're going to be in good shape, Envy.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if you're going to see HellRaisers just force up again. I mean, they did save the M4 and head armor onto Angel. And a lot of the times, the team will not concede until they lose a second round in a row. Like, usually in these situations, you do just kind of see the eternal force buying until someone can finally put an extra one over.
No.
That's the typical pattern, and this will be no exception to that rule. As Issa does pick up the UMP, I do see CZs across the board for everyone else. So we'll see if EnVyUs can finally weather that storm and try to take control of this game.
Because the issue for HellRaisers there is they come out of the round, they've got 2 players in 1400. Like, then you're looking at double ecoing. So you may as well go for the force buy anyway, especially as Angel saves the M4. But as you say, if HellRaisers were to lose this round now, they're almost guaranteed to eco. So this is EnVyUs. They know they have HellRaisers on the ropes. They know they have them knees buckling. He's up on the decon stairs. Just going to be biding his time, crouched down. It's not a position you expect to see players in, but he's able to capitalize on that. RPK, who is a monster on cash, is going to rip him to shreds and has spotted a second player up on the catwalk of the B site. XMS will distinguish himself from the rest of his team with that kill into Woxic and moves up onto the likes of Zero and Angel, who are both down from ramp, but Angel actually gets the frag onto Sixer. Looks like he probably should have died in the process, but he's able to relocate and won't be happy. And spots the team pushing outside of ramp. Zero is going to answer back with a kill of his own. The bomb still hasn't been planted in amongst all the chaos. That does give HellRaisers a little brief glimpse of an opportunity. That has been completely darkened now. EnVyUs take out the round and HellRaisers surely into an eco.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine this is where your runway has run out. You're out of room to continue to do this type of stuff, and so this would be where you would think that a save would come in. Obviously, Angel had the most money because he took a save in the last round because he had saved the M4 from before that, so he didn't have to spend any money, so he'll be able to get armor and a CZ, but everyone else is having to kind of sit back here And this should be where EnVyUs extend that lead unless Angel can make some type of play with that CZ armor.
Now just to see that, as you highlighted, really going for HellRaisers. It's going to be an A stack, but they're going to be picked off simultaneously, systematically shut down. HellRaisers, in fairness, have got 2 kills out the round, which is probably more than they're expecting. Now it is all on the CZ and Angel. And it wouldn't be a terrible idea to save. That saved Kevlar would help him going through into the next round. For a potential buy. But this round's EnVyUs. They have definitely won it. No chance in Angel bringing this one back now. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have any nades. This is a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, we'll be 4-2 going over to EnVyUs. We will be able to see HellRaisers muster up some type of buy in the next round, though. This will be where we will see what they are made of on their CT side, if they can try to put up some resistance here to EnVyUs and you know, get right back into the half, so to speak. Again, they are a mat down. They are facing elimination, as this is just a single LM bracket. Of course, we have G2 as the team that moved on to the semis from this end of the bracket. The winner of this would play them tomorrow in the semifinals. Then we have the whole other end of the bracket to start with after this game is over.
More of the same from Envy. It's been working so far, so why change it up? Pushing outside at the same time as applying pressure to the likes of Ramp and also on the hut side. Molly into Secret will deal with Angel for the time being. He has to scamper away, eats negligible damage, just 3 in total. But it stops him peeking up, which is the important thing for Envy. Bomb dropped in lobby. Declaration of intent. We have no huge rush to push either side just yet. We're okay to wait a little while longer. See if we can get some picks. See if we can make HellRaisers utilize as much of their nades as possible. They don't have much left either, to be fair. I mean, there's just under a minute left. They got a HE, a couple of flashes. They just used their smoke. And now EnVyUs decide to push the green button and rush straight in. Sixer misses his no-scope. And that's seen quite a lot of him. Going to get traded out. The even trade, though, 2v2. HellRaisers don't have a kit. They don't have any nades. But they are going to land the frags, though. Zero's going to get himself one before Happy answers back. It's all 1-0 now for HellRaisers. 30 seconds to try and save this round. And he's going to get sprayed out from Happy. As the corpse crumples to the floor, breaks its neck on the way down. HellRaisers into another eco. EnVyUs looking good.
Yeah, that was a little bit dicey there at the end, though. I mean, it came down to a 2v2 with XMS kind of getting caught trying to plant. Putting Happy in a little bit of a difficult spot, but he's able to come up with it there in the end. And so that is a 5th round for Envy and HellRaisers, again having to take a lesser buy. Just some armor and upgraded pistols. Woxic only having the 250 and no armor behind it, as Issa is going to get stuck out here in the open by Scream. And so that will be an early entry here for EnVyUs. A little bit of aggression from Dead Fox here inside the hut, but he's been staved off for now.
It just seems so easy for EnVyUs with these entry frags. Like there's no crossfires being established from HellRaisers. And again, this is what I was talking about earlier, where on a map like Nuke, I feel like it is one of the harder maps, tactically speaking, to make something stick after not being in lineup for very long. And it's probably just going to get harder when they switch across to the B side. Zero's doing a great job of inflicting as much damage as possible. In terms of winning the round, it's pretty much done already. Sixer with a bit of a derpy Molotov. Extinguishes almost instantly. And Zero's going for this. I can respect that. I thought he may just dip out and not bother, but he went for it, and he did take them to their limits. But EnVyUs do hold on for another round.
It was one of those things where you saw a chance, and he knew that they were going to have enough money to buy this round regardless, so he tried to see if he could make it work. Didn't quite happen, but he fancied his chances a little bit there. It was well worth it. But it will be EnVyUs going up 6-2 nonetheless, so close doesn't really count in that regard. HellRaisers, though, will at least have the AWPs out. It'll be a double opposite of Woxic and Angel will be the ones toting at this time, which is really interesting that for some reason Dead Fox is just not touching AWPs at all.
Good point. Maybe just not feeling confident. Doesn't really matter though, because Woxic has just had his head caved in by Sixer.
I haven't seen him do jack with an op all series long, by the way.
Agreed. Yep.
That is really a rough debut for him in that regard. Especially when you're taking the op away from the guy who's been your main AWP for, you know, all year essentially, and you're trying to give your newcomer his best chance to be successful, giving him the gun that he wants, and he just hasn't delivered at all.
I'm not sure if someone gets a single up kill.
No,
to be honest.
I haven't either.
I'd be interested to see
maybe
the stats on
one
that.
here or there. It's been poor.
I mean, this time, charging through onto B, it's okay that Happy's died, but as soon as you kill Happy or you see him, you basically know that the enemy's on the other side. Like, Happy's always lurking, basically, in rifle rounds. So they know roughly where this is. RPK gonna trade out into Angel. Valiant attempt, but he's gonna die all the same. From these positions, it's looking good. Once again, RPK lands the double headshot onto both Issa and Dead Fox. EnVy now with 6 rounds in a row. HellRaisers into yet another eco. Well, wow, you'd expect a half buy. You'd expect pistols and Kevlar. Yeah, full round loss bonus coming up.
Yep.
Actually 40 UMP, so that's a nice little bonus, but
yeah,
all the same, they are definitely second best in terms of firepower.
Absolutely. I mean, you're essentially stuck in this hell of doing like a full buy, force buy rotation for the rest of the half because of the way the money is. If a reset comes in, then you're stuck onto basically a save coming, but Zero jumps through the fire and the flames like Dragon Force and is able to get a couple of kills with that UMP, but quickly silenced by the response of EnVyUs, who get a couple of kills out of Scream. And so now it's all on Angel.
As good as RPK's been, I have no idea how he also gets caught from Zero there, because his teammate gets smashed, and RPK's still looking into like upside. Like, bruh, you know this guy on radio ramp, like, Happy's gonna clean up the round. We'll let RPK off. He's been pretty much a boss on Cash, and even playing solid here on Nuke as well.
Yeah, he's definitely been pulling his weight in this series, no question about that, as EnVyUs are now up 8-2. So again, they find themselves in an early dominant position. Let's see if they can keep the good times rolling here, as they will be up against a full buy this time from HellRaisers. Woxic again will have the AWP. Last time he got absolutely blitzed by Sixer.
It's got a kill. It's going to be on to Happy, but of course, as has been the case so many times, HellRaisers get a kill and they get neutralized elsewhere. So they've made inroads on one side of the map, but they've lost ground elsewhere. And it's going to be ramp. 3 players already pushing, and make that a 4th actually. All of EnVy are here. Affords them opportunities to go down and B, or maybe even wrap themselves around through the bend and towards Hell. But they're going to go down onto the site. Not too sure as to where the CTs could be at this stage. They need to be very cognizant of the fact that someone could be coming behind them as well. That's why RPK is staying behind on the boxes on ramp, just to make sure the flank isn't an option. Angel from the doors, though. He's going to be able to get 2 kills before he gets traded out. Someone needs to be watching those doors. It's not good enough by EnVy.
He just lost the duel with Scream. Scream was trying to do the cover, but just didn't land his shots. Angel, great work there from him. It forces a 2v3 out of EnVyUs now. They do still have a decent amount of time, but they're pretty much trapped in this lower bomb site. They don't really have a way out, as XMS will now try to plant towards Squeaky Door. RPK, amazing cover, and now XMS gets to safely plant on the opposite side, knowing where Issa is, and he's just going to finish it off with the AK instead. Doesn't even need the bomb plant. So 9-2 for EnVy. Great saving play from RPK.
How many times has he came up clutch now for EnVy in this best of 3?
lot.
It seems like he has been like easily the MVP. He doesn't have the most kills, but in this map at least, but he's got so many impact frags. Did they just buy an extra AWP and throw that away there? I think they did at spawn. I'm pretty sure they bought an extra AWP and Sixer threw it away or something like that.
They have. I know that they saved one in the previous round, so yeah, if you did see an op get tossed, it must have been a buy.
Unless I'm going crazy, I'm pretty sure I saw them throw an AWP up on the little ledge neck on spawn on T side to make sure the HellRaisers didn't get it.
You cover this, I'll go check for you. I'll be there for you.
$4,750 if that's the case. Yeah, they came through with 2 AWPs in this round and they threw one of them away. I'm just watching back on the stream now. That's a pretty costly mistake then in that case. But HellRaisers don't have too much to play with it.
Oh, Happy doing that same little maneuver. The sneaky crouch play through outside to CT to ramp. Angel is about to get blindsided. Happy looking to see if he can get some more out of this if anyone else is around, but it cost him another teammate actually because of it. Scream kind of jumped the gun there. Happy had the jump on him.
Ah, they saved 2 orbs. Okay, that makes more sense. HellRaisers do have the player advantage. Bomb's been planted though. The easiest kill's actually not. He whiffs the spray onto Issa and pays the ultimate price with his life. So he'll go down. And now the CT's starting to get some control over the site. They don't know where the last player is. Now they found out it's Sixer who's in Toxic. I don't know how he survived for that long. But he is going to go down and HellRaisers will get a 3rd round after all. Scrappy round though. Really, you feel like EnVyUs should be winning that.
Yeah, if Happy gets that 2nd kill and stays alive on that flanker round, maybe that goes a little bit differently. But in the end, it is HellRaisers who get a 3rd round on the board, as you said. Need to avoid getting reset, though. That's really the big thing for them. They did have to rebuy 3 players on this round, so money is quite low on Dead Fox and Zero in particular. But Issa also doesn't really have a whole lot to brag about as far as his wallet size either. So if EnVy can punch this one through, still could be a great half. They will quickly come out of Suki. Dornexibus finds the entry, and it gets even better as he just keeps steamrolling through, gets it into a 5-on-3, and that bomb is going down. I'd save if I was HellRaisers, actually. There's really no way to come back into this, and the money's so low.
Absolutely. They have such a heavy investment in equipment. They've got 18k plus. You do not want to throw that away. They need this for the rest of the half. This does, however, put them into a best-case scenario of picking up a 10-5 halftime score, which, when they're going through to the T side, honestly may not be enough against EnVy.
Yeah.
So it's already rough, but I agree with this save for sure. At least they have something to play with in the next round. So if they lost the weapons here, they'd basically be screwed. I mean, you've got Dead Fox and Zero, both on $300. Fair enough, Woxix has 4.2k, but the rest of the team not really that great for cash. So yeah, it's a must-save round.
Yeah, as it stands, Woxit can drop someone and they'll basically have a full buy in this round, so it'll be all well and good when it comes to purchasing for HellRaisers, but the issue is that EnVyUs have quite the score here on Nuke, and again, they already have that first map safety net. It's HellRaisers whose tournament life is on the line here, and so far it has not been pleasant. We are going to see EnVy going for a quicker push outside once more with that smoke wall down. Looks like a lot of focus on coming back. Halls again, just leaving Happy lurking alone here in lobby. Very typical setup for EnVyUs.
Already down into secret. EnVyUs making serious inroads on towards the B site here. He's just still stuck in the vents and he's going to meet his demise courtesy of RPK. Zero's not too far away from death either, just 12 health left. RPK's also low. EnVyUs having no chill with how aggressive they've been so far on this T side. It doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. If Dead Fox comes around the corner, he's almost guaranteed to die, but RPK shifts his crosshair at the worst possible moment. 6-up is going to go back to avenge his fallen teammate. 50 seconds left for EnVyUs to try and wrap themselves back towards A, which is where Happy is currently sat on Squeaky Door. They need to deal with Garage Door outside, and Angel's going to get one, not a second. Need to retrieve the bomb. This is vital time that allows Zero to get up into heaven instead. Flashbang is going to screw with his aim, though, and he will go down, and Happy claims Woxic 11-3. HellRaisers very little to play with in this round, too. This looks like it could already be over.
Yeah, Woxic, the only one that really has enough bank to do much. He'll buy an M4 and armor. Everyone else is really just stuck on pistol armor, maybe some UMPs getting sprinkled around. Dead Fox and Zero will, in fact, have the SMGs in play, but EnVyUs have a very dominating score ahead of them right now, as we will again see them on a pleasant buy, taking into outside again, this time Happy leading the charge. had the better spawn. XMS going to be looking for kills on the other side of the map, and just everything going for EnVyUs. You saw her just trying to kind of push all areas, and they've been shut down on all fronts. As it will be 12-30 for EnVyUs as they roll into the second half with a massive lead.
Simply massive, isn't it? Just huge.
That's what you'd like to tell yourself, wouldn't it?
Reasonable.
I was trying to see which way I could take that. I mean, to be fair, like, you really threw that one out there. It had to be taken.
Yeah, I'm biting my tongue. There's so many things I could say, but I don't want to get fired, so we'll let it slide. 12-3 though. Yeah, this is pretty much as one-sided as EnVyUs could ask for, going through onto their CT side now. Do you think there's any chance HellRaisers can bounce back in this? Yeah, no. There we go. The face of optimism, Mr. Dust. I do agree, though.
The only thing that I'm sure about is that we're going to have an extended break between this and the next game.
Yeah, likely. Next game, of course, is against Nip. Could be the best of the quarterfinals.
That is incorrect, sir.
Wait, what? Really?
Next game is Flipside Gambit, I'm pretty sure. Then the last game of the day is Big Nip. Big Nip. That's an unfortunate lineup of team names, isn't it?
You can tell that Nero versus slept much. Like, you can tell.
No, come on. Big Nip was going to be funny no matter how much sleep we had. Let's not blame it on that. That's just an unfortunate lineup of team names.
You're correct, actually. It is Flipside Gambit next. Yep. I think I assumed that the brackets, you know how the brackets came down as like when the games are being played? Okay. That's not the case. So I'll make a correction. It's Flipside Gambit, best of 3 next, and then last is the big against Nip.
Oh.
That's why I put against in the middle, mate.
Yeah.
A step ahead of you. Yeah, I was up
playing 5-dimensional chess.
I was watching the new Netflix thing, Defenders.
Yeah, so was I.
So rest in peace, Slip. Slip? Nope, Sleep. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, then Fox and Screamer both got kills. I'm done. Over to you, Dust.
Yep. I'll take it away from here to rescue you a little bit, as we are going to see that bomb making its way into lower screen, rotating though with the USP, puts a stop to it, looking for a bit more, but Angel will greet him with the Glock to the face. And we have a lot of back and forth play going on here. It now comes down to a 2v2 when it's all said and done. Happy toying around with this in the back calls, finds the headshot. Bomb is down, and Happy will seal the deal. So 13-3 for Envy in this series is all but over, you have to feel like.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only lifeline that HellRaisers had left, is the second pistol, and that has pretty much gone away from them, as has this map, as has this best of 3. So it doesn't look like we'll be seeing HellRaisers or Pride in New York. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 2 teams qualified today, right? One from the EU, one from NA?
Not today, tomorrow.
Well, yeah. This weekend.
Yeah, you're correct on that.
Right, so 1 team qualifies from EU.
Indeed.
What do you reckon? What would be your prediction as to who will take the whole thing? Are you going to stick with G2 then?
I feel like they're the most poised to do it due to just roster shifts. NIP, though, has had some time with the side now. They played a couple tournaments together. Certainly, they could have a chance from the other side, I think. Big, I guess you can't really count them out after what they've accomplished lately. I'm not sure about Gambit with their roster move. We'll have to see. Again, there's still a lot of parts remaining from the team that won the majors, so you can't. I don't know. I think the bottom end of the bracket is a little bit harder to discern who will make it to the finals.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think most people would have predicted G2 and EnVyUs to meet each other in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think most people have G2 coming out to the finals from this end of the bracket. I think it's, like I said, a little bit more difficult to pick from the other side.
Yeah, true. Well, although HellRaisers did claim the first kill with Angel's Deagle, the CTs have brought back a kill of their own, and Happy, that is super aggressive. I'm not sure about that play at all. Maybe some of this is coming down to over-exuberance and overconfidence being such a massive lead. But they do actually have XMS, who I believe is up on the silo. Oh, the timing could not be worse. They're going to line up for him. He's going to try and spray them down. There's 2 kills and a third. And he's now given a real chance for RPK to clutch this. Now, he has called that Dead Fox is going outside. And this is a next level call if Dead Fox ends up pushing it. I feel like most players would assume this is going to be like a lobby or ramp push. And may have just mind gamed himself out of this one on now RPK.
Got a good spot though, actually. Like even if the guy pushes mini into upper, they still have to clear the corner, and RPK's got the angle. So he played that actually really well, and he's going to win it. And it's going to be 15-3 for Envy. 1 round away from moving on to an all-French affair tomorrow on this side of the bracket in the opening semifinals. Keeping their tournament dreams alive, whereas HellRaisers will join Pride and sitting home.
As you say as well, in that last round, I mean, XMS really does shift it back in favor of Envy, but the position from RPK was so solid. It's very centralized on the map in terms of being able to rotate to B if he needs to, but also having a solid position on A as well. Woxic get absolutely...
Listen, man, if you're getting styled on by Sixer, like, it's just not having a good day. And that's no offense to Sixer, but of all the operas you could be going up against of, like, top teams, like, this is probably one of the weaker ones, and Sixer's had his number every single time.
I mean, he just got the sausage, straight up.
Yeah, got those cheeks spread for sure, there's no doubt about it. Shout out to Big Herc. Shout out to me getting fired.
I don't even know what to say at this point. He's gonna get
I don't know what's more over, this match or my career. Probably career. This match might go another round, but mine won't.
I don't know about
this.
this.
Buckled.
Yeah, lack of sleep and some of the stuff you're saying.
Might have pushed it a bit too far. I was already treading water with the big nip match, but that one might have done it.
6 health playing 19. $30 seconds. I said doesn't have the bomb either. He's got to get a move on. XMS in a great position now. At this point, he says forced to just go on 8. And that's going to be the map done and the best of 3 done. EnVyUs style at 2-0. They will move through to the semis to play against G2 tomorrow. And now we're getting down to the lower side of the bracket. Up next, Flipside Gambit. And then Nip against Big. I think this match... Many people may have thought that HellRaisers had a chance, but off that cash performance, I expected this to be a 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you could just kind of tell that not everything was lined up quite nicely on HellRaisers just yet again. Kind of the debut for Woxic and Issa, who very rarely have played against top-level teams, period, and now they're having to do it on a brand-new team, essentially, where a lot of moving parts were in play. And so you can't even really fault them for having a tougher time, but certainly they just weren't really having the best of debuts. Hopefully things will get better, because this HellRaisers team at one point looked somewhat promising. I mean, they had that big star ladder finish. They were in the mix for majors, at least qualifying for them. You know, they had some key pieces that seemed to work really well. Certainly guys like Angel deserved the potential call up to a better team because of the work they were doing on this team. Sticko did move on to greener pastures perhaps already. So, you know, you kind of hope that they can make the most of it, given that this is a situation that they're faced with. But today, that just wasn't in the cards.
Yep, so HellRaisers join Pride in the loser's side of the bracket. But it's been a very happy day for the Frenchmen and Belgians, of course, as they will move across into the semis. However, I think we're going to have an extended break again, guys. For those of you that are curious, we can't move the games forward. They are locked in place. And obviously, as this game was over fairly quickly in terms of a best of 3, I think it's going to be a little while. I'm going to double check to make sure how long it is until the next game is scheduled.
1 hour.
Is it exactly 1 hour again?
Like 1 hour and 8 minutes or something like that.
All right, so we're going to have about an hour break, guys. And then we'll have Flipside and Gambit coming up for you in another best of 3. We'll see which of those two teams can move forward to the semi-final. So stay tuned. We'll be back a little bit later.